Wondering what exactly is involved when performing a deep cleaning in the kitchen? Needing a little more in depth guidance, say room by room? If so, you've come to the right place because that's what I'll be doing today. Hi, I'm Juliana, and I'm a cleaning specialist and the owner of Cleantopia, a residential cleaning business. Today, I'll walk you through a deep cleaning of this kitchen that you see me in here. I'll be showing you how to do the cleaning and also discussing what to clean and how I'll clean each of the items in the kitchen. I'll also be offering tips and tricks along the way, so stay tuned. A quick note on the definition of a deep cleaning. A deep cleaning is really a standard or maintenance cleaning plus a couple of extra things, such as cobwebs, windowsills, the fronts of your cabinetry, the interior of the refrigerator, and of course the baseboards. Maintenance cleanings, on the other hand, are what I call a spray, wait, and wipe clean, meaning just keeping things clean in between your weekly or bi-weekly whole home cleans. These cleans are important because you'll keep everything clean, tidy, but also disinfected in between. While maintenance cleans are done weekly or bi weekly, deep cleanings don't need to be done as frequently since they involve cleaning the areas that aren't as prone to getting dirty as often, like baseboards and the interior of the refrigerator. We perform deep cleanings every 4 months for our recurring clients, and during one of those deep cleans, or maybe two of them, we take care of the interior of the oven, under the appliances, and underneath furniture. Those things I only do once or twice yearly, as I mentioned, so I'm not doing them here. I'm not going to be cleaning the oven or underneath the appliances, but I'll be doing everything else. Before starting your deep cleaning of the kitchen, you want to gather all the supplies that you'll be needing to get the job done correctly. I'm showing what supplies I'm using, however, you don't necessarily need the exact same things. Just similar products and tools, and you'll get the job done. I brought with me today the following items for the steep clean. I have a Swiffer long-handled duster. I have some microfiber cloths, which are blue, and those are color-coded. Blue is for the kitchen, and I separate my microfiber cloths by color for the rooms, and I also wash them with only like colors so that you can avoid cross-contamination. I also have paper towels. I have gloves, an OXO scrub brush, which actually is a dishwashing brush, but I usually fill it with Dawn liquid soap and white vinegar. I have a small broom and dustpan, which I'll use for the awkward parts of the baseboards when I'm dusting them. I have all purpose spray with a clean scent, like Mrs. Meyer's here, which I love. I have an antibacterial or sanitizing spray. Here I'm using the Clorox sanitizing spray cleaner here. I'm also using a grease cutting spray, which you'll need for the kitchen, and I'm using the Fantastic grease cutting spray here, as well as a gentle wood cleaner for the fronts of the cabinetry. I love to use Murphy's Oil soap here. I have that diluted with plain water, and I've put it into an emptied and cleaned out Mrs. Meyer's spray bottle. It's the pink one you'll see me using to spray the cabinets down. I'll also be using a stainless steel polish or cleaner, and this is my favorite one. And nearby, of course, I have a vacuum and a steam mop. Again, you don't need to use exactly what I'm showing you here, as I said, but you will need similar items to them. Okay, let's get started. Remember that when cleaning, you want to start from one side and work your way around the room cleaning until you end up back at your starting point. You also want to start cleaning from the top of the room, working your way down to the bottom, the baseboards and floors last. I'm starting on the left here using this extendable Swiffer duster to clean off any cobwebs, even the ones on the ceiling that I can reach. Also, I'll be dusting the molding above the cabinetry, the front of the cabinetry, and then dusting off the countertops onto the floor. And finally, I'll be dusting the baseboards with this Swiffer. Next, I'm going to go back to my starting point and spray down the top cabinets and the countertops below them. Then I spray the stovetop with Fantastic degreasing spray, then the bottom cabinets in that one little section, again with the diluted Murphy's Oil soap. When cleaning the exterior of your cabinetry, make sure to clean it in small sections so you can spray them and they'll have a minute to dwell before you wipe them clean, but they won't have too long so that they end up with dried product on the front. You want it long enough for the product to loosen any gunk, but not too long because you don't want Murphy's Oil Soap solution to dry. Later, I'll go back to the countertops, move everything off, and I'll be using the Clorox disinfecting mist to clean them. I don't show that in this video for time's sake because I figure that's probably the one thing that is pretty self-explanatory, cleaning the countertops. Okay, I'm spraying this Fantastic degreaser on the stovetop. I've sprayed it liberally, then let it sit while I switch to spray down the bottom cabinets nearby. As I said, I'm using Murphy's Oil Soap concentrate, which I've diluted with plain water. And that's what I'm using in this empty spray bottle. I really like the Murphy's Oil Soap. It works perfectly and it has a lovely scent. It's almost like eucalyptus, but barely noticeable, very light scented, and it really is a nice, refreshing scent. Okay, I'm going to give that some dwell time and move back to the countertop here and wipe everything down and dry it using a microfiber cloth. I then clean and dry the exterior of the cabinets and move to the next area to my right. Next, I use the stainless steel cleaner and polish to clean the exterior of the large stainless appliances, like the front of the dishwasher and just the lower freezer portion of the fridge. Since I haven't cleaned the fridge interior yet, I don't want to get any smudge marks or fingerprints opening and closing those top drawers. I'm also spraying the microwave front and the front of the oven door. Here I move the burner grates off of the stovetop and spray it down. And next I prepare the microwave for a good steam cleaning. I do that by filling a microwave safe mug 3/4 of the way full with plain tap water and then heating it on high until it boils, which is usually about 3 minutes. Now, once it boils, you want to leave the door closed for another 3 to 5 minutes to get it all steamy in there. After that, you'll just need to wipe it down. It's so easy and dry the inside of the microwave. Steam cleaning the microwave is a great tip, everyone, because you're using no chemicals inside of your microwave, which is where you put food to heat it. And you're cleaning the best possible way imaginable because the steam just loosens everything up. Honestly, no matter how dirty it is, and I've seen dirty, it works every time. You may have to run it a couple of times if it's really caked on, but otherwise, it should be a breeze. Okay, back to over here. I'm just moving along, continuing with spraying the cupboards and wiping them down with a clean microfiber cloth. Then I go back to wipe the stainless polish off that I sprayed on the front of the dishwasher. When polishing stainless steel, have a very clean and unused microfiber cloth, and ideally you want to choose one that is a bit textured, at least on one side, like this blue one that I'm using. You don't want it super fine like you'd use on glass, or a super soft one like you'd use for polishing or dusting wood. I'm using this textured blue cloth that is specifically designed for cleaning and polishing stainless steel. I bought them on Amazon and they're really nice, but you don't necessarily need the same ones. Any will do, so don't get the wrong idea. I use the textured side first and then I flip it onto the softer side, which is more like a chenille, to polish it dry. Also, always make sure that your microfiber cloths, when you're polishing stainless steel, are never damp and that they're very clean. In the alternative, if you just don't want to mess with the microfiber with the stainless steel polish, you can always use paper towels, and they work quite well, actually. I'm going to go back to the stovetop, and using my OXO scrub brush, I'm going to scrub away everything, all loosened up gunk, and then wipe up the mess and buff it dry. Since this stovetop isn't greasy, because I just cleaned it last week, I use a microfiber cloth to clean and remove all the rest of the gunk. If it were to be greasy, I'd be using paper towels to remove the gunk and the leftover spray cleaner. Next, I'll remove the stove knobs to clean them and the areas behind them. They can get really icky. So I do that by simply just gently pulling them straight out toward me. Most knobs are removable in this way on stoves, and it's the only way you can get back behind them to get all that icky stuff out. I'll soak the knobs in fantastic degreasing spray, but you could also use Dawn liquid soap and a little hot water or full strength white vinegar if they're caked in grease. After that, I move to the interior of the fridge, which you probably don't see me doing here, but I clean all the shelves, just going from top to bottom, moving things down as I go or out of the refrigerator if needed. I clean the shelves, the drawers, the sides of the box of the refrigerator inside. Then I dry everything going from top to bottom. After I get it all clean and sparkly, I replace any items that I removed to clean the fridge back inside neatly, organizing as they go, and I wipe each item clean if it's a bottle that stays in the fridge for any stretch of time, say like salad dressing or ketchup, etc. After that's done, I'll go ahead and polish the outside of the fridge doors, and then the fridge is completely finished. I'll do the same to the stovetop, putting back the freshly cleaned knobs and the top grates. I'll spray the sink down after and the surrounding area and give it a good scrub. I'll also polish up the sink fixture. And here's a tip, you can use shaving cream with a microfiber, and you will just get that so shiny. It really is a great pro tip. I'll go back later to the sink after I've cleaned it, rinsed it, and dried it, and spray it with the stainless steel polish and polish it dry with a clean microfiber cloth as well. Last, I'll dust the baseboards, then sweep the entire floor. Next, I'll go back around the room to starting point and I'll damp wipe the baseboards by hand using a microfiber cloth that I sprayed with Mrs. Meyer's all purpose cleaner. You could also just dampen that cloth with some warm water. The last two steps after that are to give the whole floor a careful and thorough final vacuum, including all the corners and the edges, followed by a steam mop with a freshly cleaned mop pad. Now, you could use any mop here, but steam mop tends to be sanitizing as well if you leave the steam on for a while. So, I do like to do that during a deep clean. I also wanted to mention that if you have any scuff marks on your baseboards that are hard to get out, the magic eraser will be your best friend. Just make sure you dampen that magic eraser first before using it on the baseboards, and don't push too hard with it, and don't sit in one spot scrubbing for too long. Because it's actually a very fine sandpaper, that's what they are, then you can end up removing some of the paint. You don't want to do that. Make sure that you do all those steps for the floor, though. Make sure you sweep, then clean the baseboards, and then vacuum after that so there's no debris left when you mop. And there you have it. Voila! Your freshly deep cleaned and sanitized kitchen. This size kitchen will normally take me about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes to deep clean. It would be longer if I were also cleaning the oven's interior. Now, this kitchen today actually took me 1 hour and 22 minutes, but I did end up cleaning the adjacent dining room baseboards and floors only, since the kitchen leads into the dining room floor. So that dining room is also included in that hour and 22 minutes, along with the kitchen. Today's video is the first in a short series that I've put together on deep cleaning. It will be 4 to 5 videos total where I'll be covering room by room deep cleaning for a whole home. I'll include what should be cleaned, as well as the most efficient ways to clean each room. Join me next time for when I discuss how to deep clean a bathroom and the entryway. I'm Juliana, and I want to thank you for joining me for the deep cleaning of the kitchen. Remember that you deserve the comfort and the ease of a clean home. Please like this video and feel free to share it if you found it helpful. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.